Before breaking down the predictive programming when it comes to The Simpsons and the tour of the Titanic, as you see here by OceanGate Titan, I already made the connection with Titan and the Titanic in a previous video, how it all matches up with the story written in 1898 and the supposed actual event in 1912. You can look at all the details on my previous video. Now, understand the foundation of all of TV. It's owned and controlled by Masons, and they are in the know. And again, this is not a prediction, but predictive programming as far as this being foreknown. It's not something they're predicting. Just want to be perfectly clear about that. But again, for anybody that has doubts about Matt Groening himself, the creator of The Simpsons, being a Mason, let's take a look here at Sylvester Stallone. Also, you have John Carpenter of the movie They Live, Escape from New York, and many other movies. And this is all about Masons communicating within the Brotherhood. As I show many times from this Masonic encyclopedia, Masons conversing without the use of speech. This is huge. That's why when you watch The Simpsons and you see all the symbolism in the background, as you see the all-seeing eye within the pyramid, as you see here, and also the square and the compass in the back. Again, everything's in plain sight through symbolism. They're not going to tell you with words or Masons. They're going to tell you, again, simply by signs and symbols, as I demonstrated. Just like you see with this very short scene with Homer Simpson driving up to a 33-cent store. And also Simpson just so happens to be 33 numerology. So this is how it happens. And also this very short clip where they reveal the truth in plain sight.
Freemasons run the country!
So it's very clear what is happening. Now let's get right to it as far as the predictive programming when it comes to the Titan and the so-called tour of the Titanic itself. And that gets to the writer, as you see here from The Simpsons, Mike Reeves, and take a listen to what he says here. This is a year prior, and this is his supposed voyage under the Atlantic looking for the Titanic and using the same exact company, OceanGate. Let's take a listen to what he says here.
And then we had to spend the next 2.5 hours just sailing around the ocean floor looking for the Titanic. We knew it was there. We knew it was 500 yards away, but it was complete darkness.
And he goes on to say it's not much what you expect. He calls it an Instagram moment and not much for sightseeing. Now let's take a look here at a segment of an interview with another writer from The Simpsons, Joe Colhan, and he's asked about the prediction, quote, predictions when it comes to many events that have predictive programming in it when it comes to The Simpsons episode. And let's take a listen to what he says here. And this is complete truth in plain sight. Of course, he says it in a joking manner, but this is how they reveal the truth.
So then where in the writing process do you predict the future?
We consult all the different sources, and they'll tell us. It's not predicting. They just dictate the future, and then we're mandated to put it in the script.
So again, he tells the truth in plain sight, not a prediction, predictive programming where they know in advance. And that gets the actual scenes from this episode where you see Homer Simpson about to descend to the ocean floor looking for a shipwreck. And let's take a look here. Descending to the bottom of the ocean with these mini subs. And take a look what happens here. What do they see? They find a shipwreck. And this is key, very important, where you see it broken in half. Because we all know, or should know, with the Titanic, it's supposedly broken in half in real life. And here you see it from the actual movie, The Titanic itself. And again, this is 100% predictive programming. And of course, this is an older ship. So they're going to have some gray area here. But you have the submarine, the mini submarine as well. And again, this is exactly how they do it. And of course, he's stuck underwater here in the mini sub. Can't escape. And what happens, he is low in oxygen. As you see, he's in full panic mode. Oxygen lower. And basically what it comes down to the very end here, he's out of oxygen. And oxygen gone.